Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. It is the 23rd of April. I've just literally now just come to the chart. So far, we look like we've got a channel going up. We've got a touch, the sort of the overnight lows. We've got a touch here and a touch here. So we seem to be going up in an uptrend. So I've just been looking what happened or yesterday rather. So maybe we're having a leg and a leg up to here, so it's a little bit early, but that is of some interest. So let me just have a look. Can everybody hear me, see me okay? I think so. Okay, so as you notice, I've got 6 PAs now. Another one went live this morning. So hopefully I'm in a good place now and things are going to work out okay. So Bufas, how you doing, bud? So market is about to open in about 25 seconds. So it looks to me like we've had 2 legs. Whether we can go from that very bottom or not, we probably can actually. And we've got a perfect measured leg up there. So that's played out. So let's see how we get on. Indy, how you doing, buddy? So let me just check my stream settings. Everything looks good. Excellent. Okay, market's open. Let's have a look, see how we get on today. So I am 2 payments, 2 trades away from a payment on one of my other accounts. So hopefully that'll be the 2nd payment so far this year. And hopefully a lot better year. So let's just have a look at this. So we do seem to be having a channel there. So we got a little double top there, perfect measured leg. So let's just see what happens today. We got yesterday's highs I've marked yesterday, but we could have a leg and a leg. It kind of often happens like this. So let's just have a look. So NQ channel, same again, looks perfect. Touch here, touch there, and it fits 3 times along the top as well. So that looks nice to me. So I'm happy that I've got that channel drawn right. So let's just see what happens here. So little channel there with a break. Something's different on my chart. Let me have a look at it. Bar width. That's better. Okay. I thought I adjusted something slightly. So I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Nice one single trade for me. There was quite a few trades around yesterday, in all fairness. I could have took some more, but you know, at the moment I'm quite happy with just the one unless I see an absolute sitter. There was, but market was moving quite quick yesterday. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? So I was just happy to take the one yesterday. I got 2.5 points times 5 accounts. So it was a nice sort of $1,250. I'm more than happy with that in a day, in all fairness. So we've got a channel, little small channel with a break. Are we retesting this? Let's have a look. I mean, there is a possibility it may just be 2 legs up and then we may just go sideways. We seem to just do that so much lately. We seem to retest a certain area and then we end up ranging, but there's clearly some support there. There's 4 bars there, so let's see what happens. So let's not forget we got some news coming up in around about 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes, so we need to keep that in mind. Oh, shoot, I haven't even set my thing up. 55. Oh, silly. 55. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Silly boy, silly boy. Let's just check
Order
everything's
submitted.
as it should be. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming up. 2 contracts on the 10. Yeah, everything's fine.
Order cancelled.
In fact, I am going to put that down there. Oh, shh. Hell's bloody bells. That's annoying. Header. Change display. Always on top. Okay. Okay, leg and a leg. My only concern is we got a leg and a leg is going along here really. It's sort of in a little bit of, there's a bit of vacant space there. But I don't know what it is. The last couple of days, last week and yesterday, there did seem to be a lot more setups around. I definitely could have taken another 1 or 2 yesterday. And seeing 3 good setups in a day it was almost non-existent a while ago. And we just had weeks, didn't we, of just nothing. Really struggling. Then you've really got to sort of dig into your skill level and find some sort of little slightly unorthodox trades that we don't usually. I've had to resort to triple tests, which I've never done before. To be fair, I've always avoided, but they are really lucrative. And also as well, picking tops and bottoms of ranges, just understanding how to trade them a little bit. I've sort of been forced to sort of go into something that I've generally shied away from up until now. We seem to have had, a good amount of second entries and higher lows, but they've almost just seemed to disappear. So there does seem to be quite a few triple tests around lately. There was definitely a couple yesterday. There was quite a few last week. So, leg and a leg. Let's see what happens here. There is a higher low there. My concern is we're sitting under the EMA at the moment and we have got some space here. There's always a possibility that this could be just printing down some or laying down some range tops, in which case it may make another effort and then drop again, but I'm staying out of that. It is a second entry long, but that EMA is flat and I don't like the way price is. Now, it may work, but it's irrelevant really. I just don't like the way we've got this bit of space here which the price could fall into. And we have got that news coming up. I just keep forgetting about news. You get that focused on price, don't you? And you tend to forget. I'm going to put that there, right in my eye line. Not that it will make much difference. I still tend to forget. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of going long here at the moment. We've been up here twice. Once here and once again, and it is struggling to get above there. Okay, so it did work nonetheless. But I just don't, there's just a tiny bit of congestion there. and it's all under that EMA, and that EMA is flat. So I know we've had a leg and a leg. You just don't know whether we're going to come down and touch that line. And if I'm going to go long when we're that close to that line, I'd rather just sort of sit tight. What's that? Oh, okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, my concern is here as well, is we are working nicely off there. We got a lovely touch there, absolutely fitting perfectly there. We got a touch here, a touch here, and a touch here. We've got one leg down, and then we've gone sideways, so we could get another leg down here. So it's another reason why I'm hesitant to go long here, just with what I'm seeing. It is a higher low, granted, but that EMA's flat. And price is under at the moment, so there's more chance of it pushing up, but I don't want to base a trade on more chance that it's going to work, because we could have a leg and a leg on that. Could do something like that. It's always possible. And there is a little bit of congestion there. So, yeah, my worries we get down to this level. Also, there's a measured leg played out. It could be just testing an area here. If it does tend to struggle to get up, we may end up going either sideways or going in a complete range. But there's definitely some support there. And there as well. Let's get that measured move out of the way now. We know that's played out. So up, 2 legs back, up again. So okay, this news is coming up in about 3 minutes, folks. So what I'm going to start doing is doing an OCO order with an evaluation. Just in case anybody doesn't know what that is, it's just what I will be doing, and essentially with an evaluation is just before the news comes out, is putting a buy order here above price and a sell order there and changing it to OCO. So if price shoots up and hits my buy order, it'll cancel my short, and vice versa. If price shoots down, hits my short, it'll cancel my buy. So hopefully it'll either go up and give me 6.25 points on 10 contracts, or come down. On the odd occasion, it does shoot up and then comes down before it goes in a direction. But I am speaking to people that are using this strategy for passing evaluations, and it seems to work a lot of the time. So I'm just going to wait for a payout before I get any more accounts. I've got 6. It's kind of a nice place to be there at the moment. I've got no evaluations at the moment, so what I want to do is add a few evaluations when I get another payment, which hopefully is on the horizon. How do you set that kind of order? Okay, so what I believe you do is you put a, see when it says OCO, so if you just right click in this area it says OCO, so what you do is switch OCO on, and I believe it pops up there at the top somewhere, and then you set a buy market order or a buy limit order or a buy market order and a sell order, and then what it'll do, OCO just stands for one cancels the other basically, so if it shoots up it'll cancel the short and vice versa. So you don't need two accounts, because I knew a few people what they do, they get two accounts, go long on one account and short on the other. Well, the trouble is with that, you're guaranteed to lose one of them. So if you just have the one, you can put a buy order and a sell order in at the same time, and just one cancels the other. So depends what direction. Now it can flicker sometimes up and down, and there is the odd occasion where it might not work, but at least you're only risking one at a time. So we'll know in about 15 seconds. Well, obviously it depends on the news, but I'm pretty sure this flash manufacturing PMI will spike. I can't think, to be honest with you. I just tend to know when the news is and I tend to avoid it, but be interested to see where it goes. So, okay, so that would trigger your long. Is that going to give you 6 points? So if you put an order in maybe sort of here, a little bit above price, so let's say you put it in there, I'm looking for 6.25 points to pass an evaluation, which would be there. So it would trigger the long. There we go. So that's an evaluation passed. But OCO order is okay. So, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but if I'd have put a buy order in above price there just before that news and a sell order there, and I bring them in, that would have shot up. Click the buy order, cancel the sell order on 10 contracts, and that would have clearly, passed the evaluation. If it had done the opposite. So it's just a way of, because obviously there's no rules. Now, the thing at the moment is because you can pass it in a day, if you can hold PA accounts, at least then you could put an evaluation today and be trading on a PA tomorrow, so you could be building money straight away. So if people can hold accounts without sort of losing them or blowing them, then I don't think it's a bad thing just to pass them quick. Then and then tomorrow, then you're up and running with another PA. So let me just have a little look at this. So we had a little spot, nothing major. Well, I think we went up. We had a few larger bars, but nothing major. That ATR is still relatively low at the moment, so it's been high. It was high yesterday. I can't remember it getting below about 3 yesterday. But yeah, OCO just means one cancels other, so you've got the option now. You can't do that on a PA. Apex won't allow it, but you can do it on an evaluation. So if you wanted to get a PA tomorrow, you could just do that. So obviously price was there, maybe 10 seconds, so you just have an order up here and you just bring it in, maybe a short there and a buy there, 10 seconds, 5 seconds before the news, and then obviously as that shoots up, it would have picked up the buy order there, cancelled out the short, and as that went up, it's a contract 6.25 points, 6.25. 6 points is the 3,000, and the quarter point is just to cover the commissions. And then tomorrow, then you're off and running with another PA. So on that NQ, there is a small overshoot there. Now, I could probably manipulate that a touch to make it fit. So, as we haven't had an overshoot on the ES, I'm not major concerned at the moment. The fact that we had a very small one was just because of the news, really, but it stopped nicely there. It's fitting really nice. So we're going to leg up 2 legs of a correction. So we've actually broken yesterday's highs. So my initial thought of a leg and a leg, I think, is probably likely now we're up there. So Whether we have something like that or not, I would have suggested that I think there's a fair chance of that happening. Now, what have we done for the last couple of days? So, why can't I collapse that? So we've had a lot of sideways stuff. We had that big drop, didn't we, from up here? Sideways day, pretty much sideways, same again, really. So it does look like we got a leg and a leg on the way, so we want to get back down to here, really. So news is all done now anyway, so we can scrap that. So leg and a leg. But yeah, if you want to do an OCO, I believe if you just right click in here somewhere and click OCO, it puts it up there. So if you if you put a buy on a sell order, it just cancels out the other basically. So I've not used one, but it's gone now. So yeah, just one cancels the other. We have some moderate impact news in 10 minutes. Yeah, new home sales doesn't tend to do a lot, to be honest with you. I have medium impact on there, but I'm yet to see anything really happening. Sometimes price moves a tiny bit quicker, but we don't tend to get any of the spikes. I mean, in all honesty, if you looked at that, you wouldn't really know that there was news. Yeah, we had a few big bars, but you know, we had a few big ones here, didn't we? So if you just had a quick glance at that now, you wouldn't really know that there was any news unless you knew what time it was. But you wouldn't really know anything. So, and we've still kept within this range, nice. So a leg and a leg. Can't take nothing here, really. There was a small overshoot on that NQ, so there is a possibility if the NQ comes down. I'm not massively convinced it is because I've adjusted it ever so slightly and it kind of makes it work. But when you do get news, sometimes you do get a little overshoot. But so let me have a look at this. So whether that's a break and a new low, excuse me, or a bit of an overshoot, it's actually a very small risk. That made me worth a go. That what is it? 1 point? No, that's a tiny risk. That is. Let me have a look. If you go a tick above that and a tick below there, it's a 1.5 risk. It's a pretty small risk there, and look. So if you'd have gone for 6 ticks there, you'd have been in and out of there. Let's have a look. Not quite. Well, maybe you would. Let's have a look. Not yet. I think this is probably going to push to the EMA anyway. So yeah, you'd have had 6 ticks out of that. So that was a 1.5 risk with a tick from the bottom. To be honest with you, it was moving a bit quick for me. My brain was still processing stuff. So, but I'm pretty sure Mac would point that out as a very small risk. We've had a little channel with a break and a new low, and it's kind of confirmed this channel really. Touch, 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 and look at that. So that was worth a go, and it would have worked. So let's see if we can get a higher low here. We've come off here anyway, so. He's like, yeah, I believe he's gone on a, isn't it a Caribbean cruise or something, I think.
Order submitted.
I want to drop below there if we can. Oh, that's a shame.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, I believe he's on a Caribbean cruise. I'm sure he mentioned something about it. I know he's definitely on holiday. Yeah, that was actually kind of a tidy little trade, actually, that was. Very, very small risk. Yeah, it was a 1.5 risk. Worked beautifully. Kind of a nice trade maybe to hold on there because it's such a small risk. I mean, you know, when that forms, you could literally bring it to break even, and then you got a risk-free trade there. It's a shame, really, that wasn't a higher low. I may have had a go at that. That would have worked as well. Second entry long was the trade of the day. That one there, yeah. It's just moving a little bit too quick. I generally don't take them off there. My only slight concern is I had that little overshoot in my head from the NQ, but it was such a small risk, and we got a little channel there with a break and a new low, and it does confirm that channel. So, yeah, if you're quick enough to take that, it's a nice little trade actually. I mean, you could have got back in on a limit order really. We pushed up to there, came crossed down, but it's such a small risk. I think it's a must really, isn't it? But it was just moving a bit too quick for me. By the time my brain processed it, it was kind of moving, but well, at least we're still in here anyway, so that's good. So it does seem like, with what I'm seeing now, I think there's a good chance we're going to get another leg up here. So I think we're going to get up here. So if we can get back here and see if we can get another option, but it came from a double top. I have my channel a little bit different. It looks like first break, but it was not as easy to trade to take, in my opinion. It was not as easy to trade, I think, because it moved quite quick. Trouble is, when it comes down to here, you kind of... I mean, I generally don't take a trade off here. I mean, if you look at that, we got a touch, and a touch, and it all fits in there. So for me, that's a little channel. Now, yes, it confirmed that, and I know sometimes, some days, if Mac looks at this chart and he sees it goes up all the way along, he'll say, you know, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can take them there and take them there. But in real time, we don't know what's going to happen. So I generally, when it gets back to the trend line, unless it's absolutely obvious, I generally wait for a higher low. My experience is they're just a little bit safer. The only downside to it, you don't always get a higher low. Sometimes the market just goes. I was hoping we were going to get one there. But one, we didn't break below there, and two, that bar, if you look at the top of the channel, right at the very top of the channel there, so sometimes you can get a little break and it may just come down and nick that again. So I thought about just going for that one anyway, because you know where it was, but then I just tend to be very strict at the moment, so I left it alone, regardless that it worked. But we haven't just come down to the bottom straight from the top like this. We have sort of wormed our way down. We've got sort of two legs, haven't we? And then we've got to break in a new low. So I've not got a problem with taking that. Now, if price froze there and stopped, and I had time to think about it, I would have taken it just for the fact that it was a 1.5 risk. Which is nice and small, so we may get a second entry long here. Let's have a look. My only slight concern with this is we've come right from the top. We haven't quite got up there. So that may be losing a little bit of momentum. So what to do? Okay, I'm going to leave this one. I just have something doesn't feel right. So first thing that comes to mind is, now it may work and it quite probably would, but first thing comes to mind, it's congested. Second thing comes to mind, we haven't got high enough up here, so that tells me it's losing momentum. And the third thing, look at the NQ. NQ is fitting nice, small overshoot. I'm not too concerned about that, but look how that's got up as well. It hasn't got to the high, so I'm just a bit unsure about what I'm seeing here. And it's ringing alarm bells. It's clearly congested, so it hasn't triggered, fortunately. Hey Chad, how you doing? I've been beat so many times taking a small bull bar, such a big bear bar. Yeah, I think you're probably right. The fact that I get a little bit nervous and I tend to wait for the higher low, and I think if you're strict and it actually has triggered that now. See, I'll be amazed if that doesn't get stopped out. It may work because we are in a relatively strong trend. Home sales doesn't really do much, in all fairness. I think that was destined to get stopped out if it triggers anyway. It may not, but that to me, we're at the top of the trend, is losing a little bit of momentum. So it's probably not the best time to take that. Let's see if it gets stopped out. Yeah, it did. So it's one, it's a bit congested. Two, nice looking channel. We've been right at the top here. But we've just come off the bottom. Look, we haven't got very far over before we're coming back. That tells me it's probably going to come right back to the trend channel, or possibly have a break. So taking that long there, that's a mistake, I think. I've been caught out there many times. So I made a good decision again. So, you do see these pictures in your head where something doesn't feel right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're going to take an aggressive trade, you're rightly so. In all fairness, if Matt was looking at this chart now at the end of the day, he would probably say it's a small bar. If you want to be a bit aggressive, take that. He may even lean more on the side to putting it as a blue bar. I don't know. Sorry about that. But it's a very small bar. It's probably one of the smallest bars you'll see, really, at the moment. There's been a couple of them, but a 0.5 risk, I think, is pretty good. Now, there is a trade there off that key entry point, but same again, it's a bit congested. We may get a break. I'm just not sure at the moment. I'm just sitting tight at the minute. We could have a leg and a leg. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a break here, put it that way. Just because we've lost momentum, I think if we're going to encourage buyers, we've probably got to get a break, I think, personally. But so I don't like the what the NQ's telling me even more. There's been a bit of an overshoot there. Sometimes when we get an overshoot, we'll push up, make a new high, and then reverse. And whether we will or not, I don't know. But we've got a leg back. So I just don't like what I'm seeing here. It's not filling me full of confidence to go long just yet. I really want to see what happens. That makes me nervous now. It may just be because of the news that it happened to just pop out a little bit. It may not be a major issue. But for me, I think it's likely we'll have a leg and a leg. But that, to me, is losing a bit of upward momentum. And here as well. So I think we need a break here, really. So where would we bring that to? Maybe there, maybe there. I don't know. It seems like a bit too far to come down to me, that does. See, there could be like a bit of a spike in a channel down there. Yeah, whenever we don't push up here and get close to the top, a lot of the time we have a break. So I expected one there. We had one. So let's see where price goes now. You've got a bearish bar there. You've got kind of like, well, you may call that a lower high, but it's triggered and pushed straight up. So but yeah, it is after experience. Just a quick glance at this. I don't like what I'm seeing. It's not clear. So I'm just sitting tight at the moment. The picture doesn't look comfortable to me, if that's a word, comfortable. It just, something I don't like about it. You've got a lower high there. There's after that one, there's a new high. So you've got a lower high there, which is triggered and pushed up. So I don't think the up stuff is over with just yet, especially as we've quickly triggered that short. So there's going to be people, you know, after this, there's always going to be traders trying to pick tops. So it's also a channel, so there may be traders going short there, but that is a little bit of an overshoot. So it may be, it may not be, it may not be a problem. It may just seem to push up, but I don't like this picture. This picture looks a little bit confusing and a little bit messy, so I'm just staying out of this at the moment. I can't really adjust this channel because it touches perfect, 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 and perfect, and same along the top as well. So I've got no, you know, sometimes if you doubt channels, but for me, that channel fits lovely. But just that lack of momentum and a relatively quick drop and then a little bit of a channel back to that email with a break is just making me sit and wait. So just looking at that NQ, I've just slightly adjusted that and that fits still fine. We've got a touch, slight. I don't know whether that is an overshoot or not really. It's negligible. Now we did have that news, so which caused a quick spike. So often when we draw these channels, sometimes you'll have a spike out of them from the news. So maybe it's not a problem there. Maybe it's nothing really to worry about. It did work. You can't really take that in all fairness, even if it did, because it could be trap city there. It may trigger that short, push up, stop out. It may trigger a long and come down. There may be a spike in the channel here. We may break, come down for a new low. It's always possible. I noticed yesterday, who was it? Was it somebody here mentioned that we saw the Alpine guy trading his strategy. I couldn't see his orders on the screen for some reason. So whether it was on a different screen, but you did see his accounts going up and down, the balances in accounts. I think he lose a few accounts. I think he lost 4 or 5 PAs, didn't he? Something. I think they were PAs. So price went against him, then came back in the end, and I think he was up on some of them. But whether that Anne, is her name Anne-Marie? Anna-Marie, what was her name? Kellyanne, I think. Anna-Marie, I don't know where I got that from. I think that Kellyanne that made that video, whether he felt the need to, if she's going to start showing people his trades, he might as well do it himself. So he did allow us to see price, but I couldn't see nothing on the charts. So whether he had actually the orders showing you where he got in and out on the charts, on another chart separate, I don't know. But I think he thought maybe that if she's going to start showing him, he might as well show him himself. At least that way, he'll keep some subscribers. I think. And a small drawdown on some of them because of recent pairs. Yeah. But I couldn't see an order. I mean, obviously, if we had an order, you can see it on the screen, so you can see where I entered and where where my profits are. Obviously, he doesn't have a stop, does he? But I mean, you've really got to know what you're doing, haven't you? Really, to not have a stop. But yeah, I think he sort of felt compelled to, because she'd. I mean, there was rumours what trade he was doing, but I think she sort of opened the can, really. And I think he felt, a bit compelled to sort of show people. Otherwise, if people think she's showing his strategy, then they may, start. Because usually, I mean, you watch streamers, don't you? You want to see what they're doing out of interest, don't you? But if you're turning up and watching a guy that's not sort of giving anything away, I'm surprised he has so many people watching, but maybe they think he's going to. But the only trades I've seen him take throughout the day, he tends to lose a fair amount of them. Because I think his bread and butter and his real skill, I mean, he obviously knows what he's doing. You can't earn that sort of money without knowing what you're doing. So he's obviously done his homework on his strategy. He's obviously, I'm assuming he's got the idea from somewhere. I believe it's a strategy that's been around for years, but I think he's, we get these strategies, don't we? And then we sort of tweak them to sort of fit our own. I'm waiting for you to give up something. Well, up until recently, I think the best thing to do is to do the complete opposite that I do, and I think you're going to make money. But bottles of scotch, I don't give them away. I'd rather give away. There's lots of giveaway, but bottles of scotch. So what are we doing here? But I definitely feel in a better place lately. I've stopped getting stressed about losing trades. They're not affecting me. I still had that little bit of silliness and taking a silly little gamble on a couple of them. I did it week before last and lost a couple. Was it last week? I can't remember. But I've just got to get rid of that silliness. Now, there is a higher low there, but I'm just not sure what's going on here. We've made a matching high. I don't think a long there is the best idea at the moment. It may work, but this picture, we've got a leg up. It may work, actually. We've got a leg up, but I just don't like what I'm seeing here. It's making me nervous. So we've had a small break and we've had a leg up, but we've sort of had a double top. So is this going to work? I'm not sure, but I don't like it. It may even be a little bit of a range. I think it is, actually. I can see some, maybe. So it may hold. It may eventually work its way up. But I'm just not sure about this. There's not a lot of room to the tops. And after this, I'm just not sure what I think price is going to do. So this, for me, I've just got to... I think it'll work, but I've just got an uncomfortable feeling. Whenever I get that, I just tend to stay out. Because we could end up doing something like this, couldn't we? Let me have a look. We could end up... yeah, it is working, but I'm just not sure about this, because it's clearly a bit sideways, isn't it? So you may just get stitched. But I think you'd have got 2 points out of it. But look what's happening now. It's coming back, so... it's clearly not an ideal trade, that really, is it? I mean, the fact that it's worked So it depends how you got in there, but you'd have probably just got 2 points out there. But I always like to be a little bit, you probably would have done. But this, to me, even without that, is clearly a bit sideways, hence I've drawn that, and you can clearly see there is a little bit of support there. So I think if you got in there, I think you got a bit lucky there. I'm not saying I don't rely on luck from time to time. He's not using stop losses. Yeah, he's risking the payment on the account. Yeah. The numbers are not money to him, just tokens. Yeah. I've got to say, though, I am amazed how many times he gets it right. Every time I see his accounts, they're through $200 to $500 up every single day. And it is weird, isn't it? The one day he shows us, things go wrong. So you can't help but be a bit suspicious. I mean, I had a little thing going through my head. I'm thinking, is he not actually designing all his charts on a piece of software and just making out he's doing all this and not? But no, it can't be. But it's just unusual to see someone being right so much of the time. I know skilled traders, can be trading at 90%, but if you're not using stop losses and you're relying on that, I don't know. I mean, I've been trading for 3.5 years, so I'm just a baby in the business, really. I'm really only just sort of scratched the surface of the way things work. You don't know half of it. You don't know what goes on. There's that many ways to make money. There's thousands of different ways people make money, all sorts of different ways and scams and ideas and, so-called magic bullets. There's all sorts of things people talk about over the years, isn't there? But I did find it unusual that you can look at his chart 20 days in a row and he's green every single day. So I don't know what to think about that. If you watch the guy trading Polarity ATI, Alpine used to use it. Guy rarely has a red day. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, we know how hard trading is, don't we? But just to get green days constantly. I mean, I've had a good run, but not something that lasts forever. And you see, on his trade rate, his own personal account, not assuming he uses in our props. Yeah. I mean, we know market moves. I've heard rumours about Mac winning lots of trades in a row, and I don't doubt it. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Mac had a 98% win rate. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Certainly comfortably above 95. But without him actually showing us, you never quite know. But one thing I have learned over the 2.5 years I've been doing this, you do get much better at reading the what's the word I'm looking for? The alarm bells. A lot of the times now I'll get an alarm bell, something I don't like. Now I've been doing it, trading this style for 3 years, and Mac's been doing it 25 odd. So I can imagine how clued up he is to price. And the better you get at this, I don't doubt there are traders that are extremely competent and making a stink load of money. But I think he said he'd been trading for, was it 7 or 8 years? So he's put time into it. And I suppose if you're committed for long enough, there's no reason why, there may be something slightly larger there, It's hard to say. But, at the end of the day, he's made a lot of money, isn't he? You can't do that by accident. You get away with it for a while, but not for... So we got a touch. We got a miss here, but we got a touch there. So maybe there is a slightly larger channel there, but he's obviously very good at what he does. So, as I've said before, if anybody's making a lot of money out of this market, they got my respect because I know how bloody hard it is. I know how hard I found it. So he's obviously doing something right. But yeah, the one time I did wonder whether he would show us once that Kelly girl had started mentioning it and showing people. I did wonder whether I don't know why he was concerned about Apex. What does it matter? So he trades the open range. It's so what? If you were trading the news and getting completely lucky, I'd understand him having a problem with it. But, if he trades an open range breakout and Apex go, right, we're not allowing that, how can they do that? They can't say, oh, we don't allow that one because you win money. Okay, well, isn't that what trading's all about? There'd be uproar. They'd be losing customers left, right and centre. They can't start doing that. I get the fact that they can, the news, because the news can shoot spike up. You got 10 contracts and it happens to go up. You can make a stink money. So I get that. But just because he trades the open, regardless how he trades it, it doesn't really matter. We all strive for a strategy that makes money. Now, every time, there's someone who makes money, you can't shut them down. Apex, there'd be uproar. So, no, I don't know why he's concerned. No, I get. He did say, I've heard him say, he still finds it a little bit unbelievable himself he's making so much money. So, if all of a sudden you go from earning maybe $30,000, $40,000 a year to earning over $200,000 in 4 months, you're probably going to get a bit paranoid, aren't you? If I earned that money, I'd be a little bit concerned that is anybody going to take this away from me, Any trades today? Nothing as yet, my mate. Nothing as yet. Who's it? Yeah, Alpine Trader, bud. Yeah, I've heard him say a couple of times he still can't believe how much money he's earned out of it. So I think it's natural when you earn that money, most of us who haven't got much, we don't have to worry about losing it. But once you start earning money, you've always got that sort of concern that someone's going to put some sort of restriction in front of you. I suppose it's only normal, isn't it? I mean, over $200,000 in 4 months is really life-changing money. 4 months, I mean, that's talking over $600,000 a year, and if you're earning that sort of money, you could start to build your own account and grow that. What strategy he is using? Well, I think they call it, is it an ORB, Open Range Breakout? So I believe he plots, where's the open? If we got the, okay, there we go. So this is where the open is. So I believe he has a buy order below here and or is it buy above here? Buy above here and sell below there, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And I think he leaves these orders, and if price hits the order and it buys and pushes up, he makes his money. Something like that. But there's a girl who streams called Kellyanne, and she made a video a week or so ago saying Alpine inspired video. So I think she was more or less saying what she believed he was doing. So it had quite a bit of attention. And he was aware of it as well. So I think he thought, well, people know what I'm doing now, so maybe I should show myself. The trouble is, if they... Because he gets a lot of views, and rightly so. I mean, if he's making a shed load of money, everyone wants to watch, don't they? I'm curious myself. Kellyanne, I think I know her from the Bye Bye Money streams, if she's the same one. Yeah. I'm not sure. I've watched bits of his, but not a massive amount. That's basically what he does. Hey Arthur, how you doing? I rewatched his videos where he talks. Yeah, I think he gives enough away for people to work out what he's doing. But he's obviously he's making a success of it. I mean, at the end of the day, if you haven't got a stop loss, you've got to know what you're doing, because as soon as you get it wrong, accounts go, don't they? But yeah, I mean, it's worth looking at price during the open. So I mean, if you look at that right in the middle there, where that green bar is, around about there, that's where the market opens. So I believe you'll have a buy order above there and a sell order below there. Now, what happens? It comes and buys, and you make your money if it comes down the other way. That's how I believe it works. I wouldn't swear to it. But if people start making lots of money like that, sooner or later, word gets out, someone will figure out what you're doing. And I think he was just a bit, okay, so she might be getting a lot of the attention from him making money, so he might as well show people himself. Because there's no way Apex can say, we're stopping open range. You can't do that. You can't wait for someone to find a strategy and start making money. It's a legitimate strategy. He's not relying on luck. He's relying on skill. You can't win 20 days in a row and be lucky. So there's no way Apex can pull the plug on him. They could sort of, absolutely, mate. Like I've said, I've been trading long enough now to know how hard it is. And if anybody's making a success of trading, I'll happily shake their hand. Because they've got where I'm trying to get to, and I know how hard work it is. But excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. But yeah, he seems more disciplined now too. He stopped to losing trade quicker. Yeah, I think she decided that she would stop a trade at a $1,200 loss. So effectively, you've lost half your. You've lost your half your. What is it? 2,500, isn't it? Draw. You've lost half your drawdown. So effectively, you've got 2 cracks of the whip, haven't you? Now, he strikes me as the type of guy that's not going to get it wrong twice in a row, especially the amount of time he wins. But look at this thing still going, isn't it? So, yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't completely not have a stop. I'd maybe just have a fail-safe. But I think she's trying to work that strategy. But what I will say is, strategies aren't easy. I don't think you can pick a strategy up by watching someone trade for a day and make money out of it. On TradeSync. My opinion on it is, it's a great platform. I use it myself. I haven't used it much lately because I kept blowing accounts, but let me have a look. I have still got it here. I think it's good to have something, but what I will say to you, I saw something the other day where there was a free one. Now this one obviously costs money. Where is it there? Where is it? TradeSync. I think it's good to have something. There's only one slight little gripe I have with it. That's it there. There's only one slight little gripe. For some reason, I can never get my balances here and on Rhythmic to match. It's always a few dollars out. I don't quite know why. But what I will say is you just click add trade and it adds your trade and it does it all automatically. So it's a good piece of software. Escort server when journaling my trade. Yeah, I think it's definitely good to journal your trades. I'm journaling my trades on paper at the moment because I've implemented some new rules and I, like yesterday, great day, nice trade, finished at so-and-so. So I plot my trades on paper at the moment because I'm trying to write about what's happened in the day and it just makes me think about it a little more. But planning, yeah, there is something. I read something a couple of days ago that there was a piece of software that you could have for free. Well, there was a free version of it anyway. I usually screenshot the charts so I can use it for few. Yeah, I always do. I mean, if I go into my saved charts, there's my charts going back. When's the earliest? July. That's the first time I started saving them. July 21, so not far off 3 years. I was trading before then, but I never bothered saving them. But I always save them so I can, look back if I need to. But what I will say, what I will say is the one thing I like about the Trader Sync. Now I haven't got anything in there at the moment, but it will show you your equity curve. So that's not what I was looking for. It shows you an equity curve. Now, for an inexperienced trader, I would class myself as not an inexperienced trader. I'd class myself as just coming into the intermediate level. And I always base my trading on a bad day. Now, ultimately, it's about an equity curve, a consistent consistency or consistent equity curve. Where's the what am I saying here? It's all right. I'm waffling a bit here. A path here. Okay, so we're looking for an equity curve, something like that. That type of thing. Now, granted, you may go like that and have a couple of bad days before you may recover. But ultimately, that is what you're looking for. That tells you what a trader you are. Now, based on that line, you're a consistent trader because your equity curve is constantly going up. Yeah, it has little deviations, but look at the market. It goes up the same as a market. Sometimes things will go wrong, but that tells you what sort of trader you are. You can look at someone's equity curve and tell them how good a trader they are. That shows you they're consistent. Now, just because you have a couple of bad days and you lose a chunk doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It just means you're a perfectly normal trader. And sometimes when you have these bad days, as most of you know, because you've all been there, you can start blowing accounts because you think, oh, I've buggered it up, I've screwed it up. But ultimately, so it gives you that option to be able to look at an equity curve, and it tells you your win percentage, and you can, for instance, there are bits in there that you can go and look at. It'll show you what your most profitable days are, what time of the day. For instance, there was a guy who found out that on Thursdays were his worst day. He always seemed to lose money on a Thursday. God knows why. So he stopped trading Thursday, and it improved. So it can give you certain reports which give you a little bit more the details of how your trading works. So it's got its benefits, and it's very simple to import all your trades into it. All I do at the end of the day is with this is I click on executions. I'll right click. I can't do it at the moment because I've got no trades, but I'll click export. And I'll change that one to CSV, and I'll save it, and that will give me the file. And then I just open that file and import it, and it brings all the details in with it, and it tells you everything about it. So they are useful, and I think any professional trader will have one, will use something. So it's just the one I've got at the moment. Now, I will say I did get it for free, but I still think it's good. I just haven't used it much lately because every time I'd fill it in for a couple of weeks, I'd end up blowing an account, and I'd have to delete it all. So I just haven't used it again this time around, but I will get round to it. TradeZella is good but expensive. Yeah. I actually wrote to that guy just to see if they give us any type of a deal. And they wouldn't, so there we go. But yeah, it is expensive. I do like the look of it, in all fairness. But I don't really think it matters which one you've got. I think they all do the same thing. So, if you're earning decent money, if you're earning off, $4,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 a month, then, you wouldn't mind paying for TradeZella. I believe there is a free one. There was something I saw on Facebook during the week that said a free one, or there was a part of it. The basic one was free, so I do think they are really useful. But I don't think I think you can live without one. But if you are making regular good money every week, every month, then I think it's definite part of it. I think at that level, I think you need to do something. So I have been chatting a bit through this, but I have had my eye on it, and in all fairness, there's nothing I would have taken there, and unfortunately, the only one trade, I'm just trying to think what people may have traded. That one I had a little bit tighter. Where was it? That small one, I had that a little tighter. I have extended it, and at the moment, I think it's still working. But I don't think that was a bad call. It was a very small risk, so sometimes these small risks, it's going to work more times than not. There's nothing I would have taken here, really. Nothing, no. There is 2 legs back there, but there's no bar there. There is a higher low there. I did look at that. But it's that EMA's flat and price is under at the moment. So I'm just, because at the time this was a channel and it could come a bit lower. And there's this area which could slip into. So failing that, there's nothing I would have really taken at the moment. We are getting up to this measured leg, which I thought we may do. That's why I'm making my own, so I don't have to pay. Yeah, Wilson's was giving away one at a time, wasn't it? Wasn't he? It was just a spreadsheet. Wilson's was. I don't know a lot about spreadsheets, but I know you can put in calculations, so you just, you can set all the little boxes and all this, and keep track of it. But I mean, you can do it on paper. You can do it on pen and paper. I'm pretty sure Sam found a way of showing an equity curve in NinjaTrader somewhere. I don't know why NinjaTrader don't incorporate one into their software. In fact, I had an email from someone from NinjaTrader. I've forgotten about that. What the hell's that gone? Sorry about that. Offering something or other, I think it was. I can't find it. Trouble is, when you're streaming, you do quite often get emails from people offering this, that, and the other. Half of it's just not relevant for what we're doing. So, in all honesty, the only things I do use is the things you'll see on my screen. Nothing else. I'm not putting anything else, advertising anything else until I've used it, and I know I use it myself. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Okay, so yeah, you can make your own on Excel, things like that. It's kind of I had a go at it once actually. Well, I had a go just trying to recreate Wilson's, and it's good fun actually trying to get it all to work. But yeah, you can do it on paper. I'm doing mine on paper at the moment, just in a bit of A4 paper on a book. I think it's good to write it down. Right, let's have a look at it. So, little channel there with a small break. I'm using Delphi and SQLite. Never heard of that, mate. Delphi, I think I've heard of Delphi. I'm not sure what the others are. Sorry, mate, I missed your comment up there. I'm working on journaling system. I'm planning to give away for free, but I am building it for my needs. Windows desktop app. I'm building it for Mac. So, okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm not very techie when it comes to software. Computers I can get by with. I built my own, so I'm all right around hardware, but software's a little bit more techie. It's a bit too techie for me. How's everything? I'm okay, mate. How are you? I'm in a good place at the moment. My losses aren't affecting me, and I'm managing to stop this silly little risk taking. So far, so good. How are you getting on? Anybody know what's happened to young Moo Moo? He's disappeared, hasn't he, again? He seems to come for a while and disappear. I'm having the best month of my trading career. Good for you, mate. Good on you. When you put LOL, were you being sarcastic there? Were you mean you aren't having the best one? I know you are. I'm assuming it's you are, aren't you? You're up to... Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you. Good on you. Yeah, one of my PA's about 2 trades away from a payment, I think. Let's have a look. That one there, yeah. They were new yesterday. This is new this morning. So that one's about $250 away from a payment. That's about halfway there. That's just under halfway there. So it's nice to get a payment. I'm taking it at there. In fact, what I'm probably going to do is maybe take one a month and try and let the others. Yeah, I've just got to work on keeping them now, mate. But something changed for me about 4 weeks ago. I decided, because when I had a loss, it was affecting my trading. When I had 2 losses, I'd completely collapse. It would overwhelm me and I couldn't control it, and I would end the stream and go revenge trade. But I decided to buy that Guardian Angel trader, which I never actually bought in the end, but I decided to buy it. I'd spoken to a few people. Nutty said he'd using it, but he had a few problems with it, so he was only using bits of it. And then there was a couple of guys on the stream, John and Dean, and they said it'd been updated and it was a game changer for them. So I decided I'm going to buy it, and all of a sudden I felt that's what. Oh, you really? Oh, brilliant. I decided I was going to buy it, so all of a sudden I started to relax. You know, it's like, you know, if you're, I don't know, you're in a marriage and you're arguing all the time and you decide to go to counselling and all of a sudden you stop arguing. It was kind of that scenario, I think. So all of a sudden I started to relax trading, and then I had a loss. And at the end of the day, I walked away and I was fine. And then a few days later, I had 2 losses in a day, but I was okay. My stress had gone. It wasn't affecting me. And at the end of the day, I walked away, came back. Because that was my problem. Being able to make money wasn't so much of an issue. I got enough skills to make money, but it was keeping it was the problem. Leg in a leg. So, you know, I could win more trades than not and make money. But then obviously when I was trading and I was winning, everything was fantastic. As soon as I started losing, shit had hit the fan and I ended up blowing accounts. So just because I decided to buy it, although I never went through with it, I started to relax, and it just, those emotions of losing a trade just disappeared. Same here, I was blowing up myself. Yeah, exactly right, mate. Exactly right. If I had 2 losses, I would finish the stream. If you look back at some of my loss days, you'll see me finish the stream short, and straight away I would put it onto 5 contracts and I would double click it. And I would try and get my losses back within maybe 4 or 5 ticks. And if I could do that, then I'd stop trading. But I could not control myself doing that. I would just go straight for 10 contracts, and I would either, probably 2 or 3 times out of 10 it would work and I'd get my money back. But maybe 7 or 8 times out of 10 I would blow it all, and I could not control it. And that was the one kind of piece of the puzzle that was missing. But when I decided to get that software, although I never actually got around to buying it, the emotions just stopped. Now I feel when I have a losing trade, I am 100% in control. Because we all know, we've all experienced it. We all know what it's like. Emotions just take over, and it's almost like someone else takes the wheel. There is a higher low there. It's
Order
almost like
submitted.
someone else takes the wheel. Let me have a look at this. Something I'm not sure about this. We've got a leg down, although we've had a little break. We could get another leg down here, so I'm just going to
Order
sit tight
canceled.
here. Just something just doesn't quite feel right. I don't like the fact we've got this vacant area here, so I've got a few like it may just work its way up, but at the moment I'm just a little bit unsure about this. But yeah, it's just gone. When I have a loss now, it's just not bothering me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. It's just I thought it would maybe go slowly over time, but it's just gone from one extreme to the other. So yeah. Yeah, so if you're using it, so don't get me wrong, I believe it's a brilliant bit of software. Okay, so it was a good call missing the higher low. Just don't like this at the moment. Same again, we haven't been up very high, so I don't know whether there's a little break out of this or what, but at the moment, I want to at least get back to here, so... But we got a little channel there with a break at a new low. Anybody take that higher low, did they? That one there. But yeah, I've just decided now just to get a few more accounts. Oh, you're in short there, are you? Okay. Because initially I had that there, and then we seem to have a break, but as I extend that, it kind of fits there and there. So, excuse me. Oh, you took the trap, yeah. Excuse me a sec, I'm just going to take a quick minute at the bathroom. Okay, sorry about that. Right, let me just have a look at this. Okay, so I had that originally there, and then we had a break, and we continued on up. So let me just pull that out of the way a minute. Where did it break there? So I don't think there's or is there? Do you know what? There may be another channel there. Touch. Leg and a leg. Let's have a look at that. 2 legs back. What I'm looking for is a higher low further up. So we're still going up, but I think we're in a slightly more shallow. You may have a go at that one. It's another one of those sort of falling on the bar, but I always like to wait for the higher low. It worked earlier, that one there. We have got 2 legs back to the EMA. Sorry, back to the bottom of this, what I think's this trend line. So if we can get a higher low there, I am expecting to get up to this measured move, but it doesn't always give us a higher low. There's another small bar there. It's kind of, well, it's like a visual 2 legs back and a second entry long, isn't it? In fact, there's the first entry, second entry. So it's like a third entry, but I mean, if you consider this as 2 legs, like I'm just seeing at the moment, the NQ, it still seems to fit okay right from the get-go, doesn't it? Touch, 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 touch. Small overshoot there, but I'm not concerned too much about that now because that was the news. So let me just see if we can get a higher low here. Yeah, I can't just take that one. I'm a little bit extra cautious lately, so I'd rather be err on the side of caution just in case. So, are we going to trap some shorts there or not? So, bit of an overshoot, new high. Bit of an overshoot, push up and then down. See, there is a... God, that's so tempting to take that. The better option might be to take the bar there. I'm not sure about this. It is a higher low. You are going to trap some shorts there probably, but it may also come down. So what was that bar there? 8 ticks. Not a massive risk. Okay, so it did work. It's alright, I've just redrawn this, so I need a little bit more faith in it. I did consider going, you took that higher low 2 points, yeah, I considered putting an order above there. Do you know what it is? It's because I've just redrawn this channel. It's just made me a little bit nervous. But, and not only that, we've had this channel down, haven't we? I think if it was going to get above there, but I just don't know. There's something about this I'm not comfortable with. We got a couple of touches there, a couple of touches there. How high is it going to go? Same again on that NQ. This isn't filling me full of nice rosy feelings at the minute. You know, every time we've been up there, with the exception of that, we got a channel down. We've sort of been staggered. just not looking like it's strong anymore, is it? It's looking like it's losing a bit of momentum. Perhaps it's just me being a bit paranoid, maybe. So what I'll say is, and I've said this before, sometimes when it's struggling to get up, it rushes down and takes out stops. And it's struggling to me at the moment, so there's a battle going on. So I want to get in really when it's moving quite fluently. Now, it may just continue up, but I felt like this lots of times before when it seems to be struggling. I just think, oh, I just don't like it. Because usually when it comes back here to this sort of key entry point, look at that, it just carried on. But at the moment, there is a little bit of... there's just a little bit of support there, which I think is... There's a battle going on here. There's probably traders, I don't doubt, who've bought this or maybe have bought that one. Or, sorry, shorted that. Thinking we're going to drop. I don't know, maybe. You're taking off. Yeah, you take it easy, mate, yeah. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. Let's have a look at that NQ. Yeah, there's a high low on the NQ. We've just come off this area. We've touched it a few times, and it just doesn't look like it's strongly moving away. If it gets above there, it may do. It may rush up in a minute, but we're finding some support, and that's what making me a little nervous. What I find though now, if I'm feeling a little bit nervous about something, there's usually a good reason for it. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to go sideways and go into a little bit of a range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wouldn't be surprised if we get it a range now. Because we seem to be losing buyers here, or losing momentum. Well, I suppose losing momentum is the same as losing buyers, isn't it? So we've come up in this channel, we seem to be in a slightly less, ever so slightly less steep. And if I bring that over there, maybe it works. But I think it's irrelevant anyway. I think the channeling is almost identical to that anyway, so... Yeah, maybe it's going to work. It's just sometimes when it starts to go slow. I'm in buy or uptrend. I'm in buy as your uptrend channel holds. Yeah. We've just sort of started making this slightly different one now, but it's struggling. It's going very slow, and when it goes slow, my experience of it going... Sorry if you can hear howling in the background. My experience, when it starts to go slow, the slower it goes up, the quicker it comes rushing down, so... I hate it when it goes slow. Yeah, it's definitely 2 legs, isn't it? We're not far from the top. The trouble is, if there are traders that bind these as measured legs, once it starts to get close to that top, people are going to start to take profits. I would have said so anyway. That's what I'd be doing. I'd want to get out before the tops. That howling is what? Yeah, probably. I've got 2 cockapoos, and when my wife's just come home from work, they start howling. They do when I come back as well. For some reason, I don't know why they do it, but it's the little boy Wilson that starts it, and the other one, Molly, she just coppers badly. Yeah, it is slow, isn't it? I hate when it's slow. It makes me nervous. It may go, but I would say, for me, I drew that measured leg, so I think it's like, well, it just clearly there's another leg, isn't there? But the trouble is, once you get up, if you're running this now, are you gonna wait to take your profits here, or you want to start taking them a bit early? So it is struggling a bit now. Slow grind up was yeah, it's losing steam, isn't it? And the trouble is, I wish I got in there, but there's something I don't like what it's doing. It doesn't seem to be and it did start going. There's nothing worse for me getting into a trade and it just starts to go slow. I'd like to just, I want to get in and out, but it is going slow. But it worked. And it is a higher low, and would Mac mark that? Absolutely, 100% he would. But at the time, because it's slow, and I don't know, I just get a bit paranoid. What I'm seeing here, is a leg down, 1, 2 attempts to go higher, and a bearish bar. So let me think. So if you were going to trade that leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, you'd be looking to short that, wouldn't you? But why would you short that in an uptrend? You wouldn't really. So it stands to reason that is more likely going to get stopped out, and it did, and it carried on, and you got more than enough points. And in the cold light of day, we've got a touch here, and a bunch of touches here. So taking that trade makes perfect sense. But sometimes when it's slow, I don't know. Yeah, I've gone from being careless to being extra cautious now. So okay, so we're getting close to that measured leg. So traders are taking profits, and that's what I mean. When it goes slow, I've been in these trades before, desperate to take a trade, and you get in, and all of a sudden, wham, down it comes. Now this to me is just is people taking profits and not waiting right till we get up there. But I did say it looks to me like we may start to go sideways. So I'm going to let it do its stuff. I'm going to go and make a quick cup of coffee. I'll leave that there. My wife's just come home, so quick cup of coffee. And I will be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Right, what's happening? Okay. So, what is happening here? Are we likely to push up and make this new high? I think it's likely. See, we have had a break, so that could change its plan. So I'm not automatically looking to go long at the moment. I'm just letting it figure out. Sorry about that. Good lad. It's all right, a buddy of mine, Marlon's just hit the payout again. Good on you. Good on you. Okay. So let me just drag this in a second. Let's figure out what's going on here. That is still fitting quite nice for me. So a leg and a leg. Is this pushing up, or are we just going to have a couple of legs and come down? It's so hard to say, really. I'm not sure what I'd want to do here. What I will say is we got a touch, and a bunch of touches there, but we are losing momentum, so maybe we just need a bit of a correction. So I'm not in a rush to just go long here just at the moment, because you could get stung. Very close, that measured move. Yeah, I'm not ready to go long here because it could trigger it, give us a bearish bar, and then fade this breakout. There is the possibility of that. I'm just completely unsure of what I think it's going to do at the moment. He could tick above there and then come down with a big bearish bar. Depends how you look at this. See, this channel, we're touching really nice. We kind of have had a break, but it has continued up. So normally you'd adjust your chart, but I can't find any way of adjusting that without missing all this. So I have done a slightly different channel, which looks okay to me. We got a touch there, a couple of touches there. We got a touch. So for me, that channel's okay, but we are getting very close to this measured move. So whether that's why it's losing momentum, I don't know. And if it does lose so much momentum, it could turn. Trouble is, when you get a bit of sideways like that and it starts moving, sometimes people go long, and that's when we get these fades. That's where it fades. So I wouldn't be shocked if we came down for another leg. I just don't like this. I don't like what I'm seeing. It's a little bit unclear for me whether we're going up still or whether we're coming down. This is finding some resistance. It's struggling to get up. And it could reverse it, yeah, it's always possible. I'm all of a sudden not very confident that it's going to reach that measured leg. It's just acting a bit erratically. Yeah, see, there's always a possibility of a two-tiered channel there. I'm just not sure I feel about that just yet. Only really touched twice then, haven't we? So that is 100%. I got no issues with that one. Perfect, 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 perfect. And same at the top. So we got this little break. 2 pushes up to a new high. We came back down. We had another leg up. So now are we going sideways? I'm just losing confidence at the moment that this is continuing up in a trend. It may do, but it's not doing it. It's a little bit unorthodox for me. So whenever I see this sort of whipping at different angles, down at this angle, up at that angle, and then sharp, and then it's just it's losing momentum, and it may turn. So kind of looks like the start of a bull flag, but this isn't the bull flag that for me I'd be confident in taking, because you've got a bull bar there which is triggered, and this looks like it's coming down. So I don't want to be anywhere near a trade here at the moment. Yeah, it's not the best looking range. May not even be a range, but there's definitely some sideways stuff, I think, at the moment. But the trouble is we've only really touched this at the top and at the bottom now. It is early stages, but it is kind of going sideways regardless, isn't it? So at the moment, I'm just sitting tight. Let's just put that there. It may eventually work. It's not that far off. It's only about, 5-6 points off the highs anyway, so it may work, but I don't like what it's doing, so I'm just staying out of it. It's not anything I want to get into. Now, it is kind of bull flaggy, so it may just push up. Yeah, that's not what you want to see. Okay, so that NQ, let's have a look at this, see if we can make any judgment here. That's fitting there. There is a small overshoot there, but I think that was because of the news, so I'm not really mega concerned, but it works the corner there kind of nice. I'm not even convinced there's a break there, but there's certainly a break there, and I think it's going to make a new high. It was very close to that anyway, so I think that it's only a few ticks, isn't it, away, a point or so away from a new high. So I think this will work for a new high. That's a little bit further away, so I just don't know at the moment. Okay, the NQ's already made a new high, so that's played out there. That channel's played out. Regardless of whether you think there's a small break, that's clearly a break anyway. 2 legs down, clearly a break and a push up. So we're up there now. So now, if the NQ has played that out, it could reverse potentially now. And if it does, this may not even get up here. It's hard to say. You just can't trade any of this. May push up, but it just could come dropping down below it all. But it does look like a bit of a bull flag. So, we'll see. A leg and a leg would probably take us up to this measured move. It all depends really for me now on the NQ, because that NQ is played out. So if this now decides to come down, the ES is very unlikely going to make this measured leg. Yeah, we've more than made a measured leg there. I think that second leg looks larger than the first. Yeah, it is. Nothing worse when it's slow, is it? Nothing worse. I wouldn't be surprised now if this just drops as a massive, well, not a massive drop, but a really big, steep drop. I wouldn't be surprised if that does that. Come on, drop. It's clearly struggling to get up. I think once it goes, if we can get below here, I think it will start to come down now. It's just clearly going nowhere. We had to have a bit of a drop. It's just struggling, and just that to me doesn't instill confidence in buying at the moment, with multiple times to continue up. And whenever we get there, we had 2 legs down. We got up here, we had a big drop. For me, we're going to have another sizey drop. We're just struggling to get up. So unless we can now continue to go sideways, the only place I can see this going is down. Maybe there's a 2-tiered channel there. Possible. This is losing the upward initiative for me. This is going to come down, this is. Let's see what happens when we get down to there or there. So NQ's already played out. So this can reverse now without any issues, I think. The channel up there, we've had a break, new high. So this could continue on down now. Depends how you look at this. If you look at this channel, we've already had a break and a new high, so this can come down now as well. So I'm not ruling out looking for shorts at the moment. I prefer to get something in the lines of this. Head and shoulders, yeah. Shoulder, head, shoulder. So that is a bearish pattern, isn't it? So maybe, you know, if we can get a start to come down like this, I think it's likely now. I think there's as much chance as we could come down. In fact, I think there's more chance we could come down now. We've you know, depending how you look at this, we've had a break out of this initial channel, and we've made a new high, and we've tried again and we've tried again. So we're really struggling to get up. So that just tells me there's just not the buyers there at the moment. Now the only ones left are the sellers. Now, are you going to want to sell after this? It's certainly an option. We've had a big move like that. Selling's certainly an option, especially if there's not the buyers there. So I think it's more likely to come down. I just like to get it past this level first in case it does decide to go sideways. But yeah, I'm not looking to take longs at the moment. So my understanding of a head shoulders, we've got the head, shoulder, shoulder. Doesn't it come down to this level? Or right down to the bottom? I'm not sure. There's technically a failure there. Now, is there going to be longs in there? Quite possibly. That's a tempting short, that is. Maybe we get a triple test. So we've come up, drop bearish. That one, it's more on the side of bearish. I wouldn't take that initially, although it is technically a failure. I'd rather another go. I mean, it's clearly for me, it's struggling to go up. So, Collector, that's a new name. Heroes Media, something is brewing at AMC stock. Once again, just like the times in 2020. Oh, I wrote that word for ages. I used to have some AMC. Remember, was it 2020? It was before that when it started. I think I bought it at $7. Was it $7? And then eventually, didn't it go up to 50 or something? I got sucked into all the... was it before then or around about then? It may have been then, actually. AMC. You get all these runs, don't you? There's loads of rumours and stuff going around, but I haven't heard the words AMC for a few years. In fact, it was around COVID, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. Was it just before COVID? Yeah, I think it was just before COVID or COVID times. So we're going to get a triple test. Or is it not going to get that far? I did look at that one, but I left it. Technically, it's a failure, isn't it? I'd have preferred that to be a little bit less, a little bit more bearish. Okay, so quickly looking at that NQ chart. We got a channel there. I'm not too concerned about that overshoot because that was around the news, so that poking out there isn't really concerning me, but it fits actually really nice. As we came back to the trend channel, we had a push up, but losing some momentum, so then we had 3 big bars which got us below these lows, so we are pushing up. We've actually made a new high. We're clearly, for me, struggling to get up. So I think this is going to come down now. It may go up, but usually the slower it goes up, the quicker it comes down. So we've had this break. We've made one attempt to go higher, a second attempt to go higher. We could get a triple test. I'd like to see this higher low trigger and then close bearish. So for me, that will be a triple test to go short, especially after this is already played out. Now, we've got a break. We could get one leg up and a second leg up, but I don't think so. This, to me, is struggling to get up, so I'd like to see that. Okay, so it has triggered that long, so there's a higher low, so I'd like to see it go up a little bit and then come down and close below that line, so let's keep our eyes on that. I want this to push up a bit. Possibly a second entry short here as well, we'll see. I don't mind that going up a bit, as long as it comes down and closes bearish. If it does, that's alright for me. So we got a leg down, 1 attempt, 2 attempts. Come on, come down, baby. Come on.
Order submitted.
Okay. Good News is the NQ's closing before this does. As long as it's not such a big risk. Get me. Come on, you bastard. I had a feeling that was going to do that. Leg. Triple bottom. Interesting. What to do? Do I get it in on a limit order? Is it coming down?
Order cancelled.
Trouble is, you've got to really get out by the lows there. There isn't a lot of room, in all fairness. So if I got in there, yeah, I'd have got out at 6 ticks. Which is, well, it would have to push through, so I'd have got 6 ticks there. Let me see. If we're getting any type of a downtrend like that, we may well do. You could jump in there in a limit order. It's very tempting.
Order filled. Target filled.
Okay. I think the signal was quite clear for me. We're clearly struggling to get up, and I think this is going to come down. So a quick 2 points on that one there. I got on a limit order, so the risk was a little bit less. So second entry, was it that one I got in? It was, wasn't it? So got in for 2 points. So I'm not too concerned about the EMA. It is a bit congested, but I think it was Max said you can trade congestion as long as you know what's going on. So for me, this is definitely coming down. So we got a leg down, and depends where you draw a leg down. So for me, this is going to come down the bottom. We're clearly struggling to get up, so we got a leg down. 1, 2, 3. That's a triple test. 1, 2, 3. Not only that, it's trapping a bull bar there. There's a bull bar trap there. As soon as that went above there and started to come down, I thought there was a fair chance it was going to trap another bull bar. So there's traders here looking to go long here for a short. So channel break, new low. There's going to be longs in there for short, which are triggered. There's going to be longs in there which are triggered, and there's going to be longs. There's 3 loads of traps there, and it's come below there, so I think that's still going to come down. It hasn't, no, but look at the NQ has. Just because it doesn't necessarily have to make a new high. So, for instance, the NQ is at a break and a new high. So if the NQ comes tumbling down now, the ES will follow it. It won't necessarily make a break. Now, having said that, depending on how you look at this, if you see that as that channel, so look at that channel, okay? So we've had a break. So this channel is played out. Yes, it's gone up a few more times. So if you look at this, we've had a break. We've gone up once, twice, and then we start to go sideways. But we tried there. So for me, we're just struggling here. So that's a triple test. So we get a leg down once, twice, 3 times, a triple test. I got in on a limit order because I thought it was worth a go. But for me, this is likely going to come down to this line here. So if you got in there, you got out for 2 points anyway. I got 2 points, but I got on a limit order. As soon as that bar triggered like that and started to come down, for me, if you want to go long here, this isn't the place to do it. This is really, but the fact that we're clearly struggling, it's going really slow and really grindy. So for me, this is going to come below on this at least here. It may even continue to come down, but not only that, we've got a touch here, we've got a touch there. When that touch is there, one, it's confirmed the trend. Yeah, it is a little bit sideways, but I can still read it. That to me, so we've had this little channel here with a break, new high. There's a triple test there, and you can clearly see touch, touch, and touch. That's confirmed the channel. It's fitting nice on the bottom, so this is coming down for me. So clearly made the points. Make sure I'm up. Let me have a look. So I took that on the triple test, but I didn't get in there. I got in on a limit order, which was there. So my risk was a little bit less. So my risk was there, 2.5 points. I can live with that. At least then I've got, the trouble is really, if you're taking a trade there, in an ideal world, you want to get out for the lows. So I was in there and out at the lows, 2.5, but I was out comfortably for 2 points. Well, that bar finished, I think. So, but it is a triple test, 1, 2, 3. But there's longs trap there, definitely longs trap there, and there as well. I think, you know, there's going to be longs going triple test. I don't know anyway. But it's clearly made the points. But for me, this is a channel with, you know, it depends how you look at things, really. So I would say for me, that is a triple test. Sorry. Triple test. It's 2 points plus 2 points. So that's a quick $1,000. By any chance, where can I find that indicator that currently shows the bar size? I'll show you now, my friend. You'll never guess what it's called. Shock me. It's got a really, really unusual name. It's called bar size counter. See, I bet you'd have never guessed that. Bar size counter. That's where you can get it from there. ticktech.com, ticktec.com, and it's free as well. So it's great, really. You can set it to ticks and points. So I know at the moment that bar is a point. So if you're going to take a trade, it's just a great little indicator just to, but yeah, no way. But yeah, bar size counter. You've been looking for this. Have you really? Yeah, it's just called bar size counter, ironically. But yeah, ticktech.com, ticktec.com, and it is free. Good. It's really useful, actually. It still amazes me why they give these things away. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. So yeah, it depends how you look at that channel. I was trying to code, but really, yeah, it's really useful, actually. So if you want to take a short there along there, it just tells you exactly how far that is, and you can obviously make it sizer. This just made my day. Good. I'm happy to be of service, but it is useful because otherwise, how do you know really? That obviously gives you the why the hell that gives you the previous one and not the currently one, I'll never know. I use a ruler. Yeah, it is a bit of a pain, isn't it? Now, you can, if you've got these, you can hover over it and press the what's it bar, which tells you, but I've got mine, I've got a different piece of software which doesn't allow me to do it at the moment, but yeah, it is really useful. You can set it to ticks. You can offset it, set it over here, up here, and obviously you can change the colour and the size, so it's an invaluable piece of kit, that, because sometimes I jumped into a trade about 2 weeks ago and it was six points. It looked such a good trade and it did work, but it's useful just to know what you're taking there, and obviously that one gives you the previous one, which is obviously a lot less important. But what time is it? How long have we been going? 2.5 hours. This is the last thing I need, my indicator. I'm high. Brilliant. Yeah, it's free, which is useful as well. That other thing I like, order line decorator as well, which tells you your price. That's really useful. I love that bit of software, because sometimes if you want to work out how much profit to take or what your stop is, you've got to sort of work out in ticks, haven't you, or whatever. But I like the fact that it just tells you at the end of it. So that's useful. Yeah, I like that one. It's great, that one. Python or C++, that sounds like is that coding software, is it? C++, I haven't heard that word for years. But yeah, it's a second entry short, a triple test, whatever you want there. For a news, Golang. Yeah, I'm not very software-y myself, to be honest with you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 06. Okay, so that's 2,000. Sorry, 1,200. A quick $1,200. So yeah, it's just gone a bit weird now. In fact, you know what? How long have we been going for? 2.5 hours. I'm going to knock on the head, I think, today. I've got my trade now. It's going sideways and slow. So, will it make that measured move? What do you think? Oh, you're not speaking to me, are you? Okay. In fact, let me just save my photo for the day. So, generally an uptrend today. Excuse me. We may get a leg and a bit more of a correction, and then possibly eventually make this, but at the moment it's just not ready, I don't think. Chart image. So 23, 4, 24. That is a yes. Buddy of mine has just hit a payout again, so I'm pleased for him. So another good day. So 2 days, 2 trades. I'm happy with that. If I can get 3 winning trades of 2 points in a day, I'm more than happy with that. In a week, sorry. 23, 4, 24. Excellent. What day is it? Tuesday. Okay, I am done for the day. So I appreciate your comments. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Hopefully you're in the green, all of you. You can't beat it when you're in the green, can you? All the world's right, isn't it? So, okay, so this thing's still slowly coming down. It was good to you today, Laughter. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I tell you what, it's been better lately. It really has. I mean, it wasn't long ago. It was only a few weeks ago. I remember putting a post out saying what's happened to the trades. They were just non-existent. Last week there was quite a few around. Yesterday, I think Friday, there was 4 or 5 trades around. Yesterday there was trades as well. There was more around yesterday. I could have taken more, but you know when you're sort of 2-0 for me. Good on you, mate. Nice number that is, 2 trades. 1 to 3 trades a day. If you can get 2, it's ideal, isn't it? But I'm just 1 trade away now from that a payment on that one. Well, it's $60 away. So I may even just go down to 1 contract tomorrow. We'll see. These are looking healthy. That's had a nice start today. So I'm finding myself in a good place at the moment. I don't try to jinx myself, but for me it's the opposite. You think so? Yeah, see, it's been awful lately, but yesterday there was quite a few trades around. But I don't know, I just think the way the market's been lately, I'm quite pleased with the 1. The trouble is, if you take the 1, you're guaranteed you're walking away in the green, aren't you? But if you do trade again, there's always that possibility, isn't there? And I've just gone from being careless to being sort of cautious. I'd prefer to have some a little bit more balance, but that will come in time. I think it's I'd rather be on the overcautious side than the careless side at the moment. I think it's part of the journey, isn't it? It's great to listen and watch, mainly from Focus and to be like company. Yeah. So I was going to say something else again. I can't remember what it was now. I've gone blank. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, I appreciate all your comments. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope you get out this. We're probably going to go sideways for a bit, but we may have a couple of legs down and then we may get back up, or we may just top off. Who knows? But that measured leg, it's very close to it. So I don't know, but it is a little bit sideways, but it is coming down. Although it's a little bit sideways, it's still we're still making lower highs and lower lows, so it's still coming down. But there you go. So I'll be back same time tomorrow. So best of luck this afternoon. Failing that, I'll see you tomorrow. So have a great evening, stay safe, and we will talk and do it all again tomorrow. Bye for now.